Let me guess. You're not lowering the key of the songs that you're singing because they sound better a step down or a half step down. You're lowering the key of your favorite songs because you can't hit the high notes, whether it's something in the chorus, the bridge, maybe the end of the song. There's a money note somewhere that you're just not able to hit. Whether it's inconsistent and you're just not sure whether it's going to be there. I mean, you're not going to risk it, right? Let's just lower the key of the song. Or it's totally out of your wheelhouse, like a lot of this stuff used to be for me. You just sing it an octave down, right? Now, there's three problems with this. Right, three ways this is holding you back from progressing as a singer and becoming the singer that you've always wanted to become. And there's two solutions I'm going to share with you. Now, if you're somewhere that you can't practice, you're on the train home from work or something, make sure you add this to your watch later list and hit the subscribe button so you can check it out later, go through the exercises I'm going to share with you. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I've got a free gift for you that's going to get you right back on the path towards becoming the singer you've always known as in there. You've just never been able to get it to come out consistently. My go-to was singing everything an octave down, right? I mean, it just doesn't have the same ring, right? Like, pack my bags and let's get moving, 'cause I'm bound to drift a while. It just doesn't express what the song is trying to express, right? When you do it, you know. Put a candle in the window, 'cause I feel I've got to move, yeah. 'Cause I'm gone, you don't have to worry long. Just doesn't have the same ring. As long as I can see the light. Now, singing in the original key and singing these high notes, it's not about showing off or proving some point. Look at how high I can sing, right? It's all about freedom of expression. An excellent example of this is a Nirvana song, right? I mean, a lot of those lyrics are total gibberish, at least to us, the listener. There's a few lines here and there, but by and large, it's just whatever fit and whatever, you know, he had in his mind at the time, right? Yeah, there's a whole generation of people, myself included, that really relate to that voice on a visceral, primal level. And it's not the words, it's not the lyrics, it's not the song content. There's a primitive expression in frequencies, and I've come to realize that frequencies are emotion, and emotion is frequencies on a certain level. And once you start changing the key of your favorite songs, they really don't. It's confusing. They don't put across the same meaning. I mean, it's kind of like the bolt thrower version of "Living on a Prayer," right? It's no longer a song of personal triumph and young love. It's actually a bit depressing when you start lowering it down, you know, 2 steps, right? Because the singer can't hit the notes, right? It's just no longer the same thing. So you can do whatever you want with your set of songs, right? If you want to take your singing to the next level, you got to work out why you're unable to sing in the original key, and you've got to work towards being able to do it. It's not a magic pill. It's not a magic trick. This takes practice, but it is absolutely possible. Now, the first problem with lowering the key of your favorite songs is that you get away with it. Now, you're probably thinking, that's a good thing. Of course I want to get away with it. But you're still making exactly the same mistakes. I mean, if I lower that Creedence song a couple of steps or even an octave down, I'm still getting the same things wrong. The things that are stopping me from hitting those higher notes there, they're still happening in the low range. So you actually exacerbate the problem and create muscle memory around the wrong choices. This is obviously not the right way to go about it. I mean, if you've got a show tonight and you've been lowering the key for years, you know, I'm not saying go and chuck it in the original key and hope for the best. It's something you've got to work towards. It's all about bettering yourself and working towards your goals, which is obviously expressing the meaning of the song, and you've got to sing it in the original key to do so, right? Number 2, it doesn't express the meaning of the song like we just spoke about, right? Once you start changing the frequencies are communication on a primitive level. Once you start changing those frequencies, you change the meaning of the song, right? Finally, you're not moving forward as a singer. Right? It's kind of like when I first started playing guitar 400 years ago. This was the first scale I ever learned. Right? I mean, I thought I was really cool when I add these little blue notes in there, right? And I just practiced this relentlessly. Skipped class and practiced the pentatonic solo scale there, right? I got really frustrated that this didn't make me sound like Richie Blackmore or Kirk Hammett, right? Because I was just geeking out on something that I was already pretty good at. And what these guys were doing was something outside of that. The more you stick within your lane as a singer, I mean, you don't challenge yourself and you don't take your singing to the next level. So there's two solutions here. I found two things to be true about every single singer that lowers the key of the songs they're singing, whether it's, your local bar band singer, whether it's, a guy you've idolized on stage and you just notice that they're starting to lower the key, like the Bon Jovi stuff. It was a step down. That's okay. Well, it was a half step down. Oh, it's become a full step. It's become a step and a half. It's become, okay, we're tuning down to C, right? It's a slippery slope because you're making those same mistakes, right? There's two things that are true about all singers that lower the key of the songs, and I was no exception to this. This is what used to happen to me. Number one, there's a pitching issue. There's two muscles that pitch the voice, right? Especially guys, we don't really use the CT muscle in the way that you do when you sing, when you're speaking, right? So sometimes it feels a bit unnatural, or it's this weird thing, or it just feels like falsetto or head voice. A lot of vocal exercises are centered on head voice, but that's not how you want to sing. You want to sing in full voice, right? You want to sing Man in the Box, right? Eyes, right? You want to sing it in that way, right? You don't want to be Jesus Christ. So why are you practicing in head voice, right? What you're actually practicing is pitching the sound with the CT muscle. You don't realize this, so then you don't port it across into your real singing, but you've got a pitching issue, right? A really obvious example of this. If I take an A sound, like the word hey, and I pull the Y out of the end of it, that always go up to a G4, right? A lot of the songs I used to struggle with, right? Around about the G4, F4, E4 type range, right? I had more and more pressure from the belly. I mean, you're supposed to support, right? Show what happens. Even after this many years of doing this, if I make that fatal mistake in my support, I can't sing those notes because I'm trying to pitch the sound with pressure and contraction. And if you think about it, high notes are fast. They need fast vibration. So you have to thin things out, just like the high E string on a guitar, right? The tuning peg tensions a string. It's exactly the same function as the CT muscle, right? Now, if we're trying to get that low E string to vibrate at the same, exact same pitch and tone as the top note, it's just not going to go there. You're going to snap your string, right? So your CT muscle, you can identify it below the larynx, right? If you make just a falsetto sound, right? Ooh, ooh. You got the trachea notch between your collarbones here. Very gently place your finger there. Don't push. And if you play around with it just a little bit, ooh, you're going to feel those ligaments come forward. These ligaments are basically like a cup. The larynx sits in the cup. When they tilt it forward, you tense the vocal folds. You get a higher pitch. So we need to hone in on that. Instead of pushing up, we need to do is focus downwards. And if we add a slightly sad sound to this, you're going to see what happens, right? Right? You can hear a very subtle difference in how I pitch the sound. Right? I'm tensioning the vocal folds to pitch. Everyone who lowers the key of their songs gets this wrong. Number two, you have an acoustic issue. Words are important. I know we just spoke about that in terms of the Nirvana song, right? But if we're talking Creedence or classic rock, a lot of the times the lyrics are the immediate thing that people relate to and the immediate thing that you relate to. What happens is you kind of become more well-spoken when there's a song where you relate to the lyrics because they're so important, especially if it's something you've written yourself, right? You've written these really cool lyrics and you want to be clear with them. The more you pronounce, the harder it is to hit the notes, right? So let's use my example. Let's take it up to an A, right? Same thing. If I pronounce the word hey, right? Hey, 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 right? All of a sudden it becomes very clear I'm an Aussie, right? If you haven't worked that out already, right? The more I pronounce, the further I get away from actually being able to sing this. So what you got to do is get away from your pronunciation. So your vowels are tuned to certain frequencies. Let's just keep this simple. Instead of going forward, right? The more you get away from pronunciation, the more the body does what it knows to do naturally, and that's to create frequencies without straining, without forcing, without yelling. The more you push the words in there, the worse this is going to get. And this is concepts like vowel modification and getting your bass vowel sounds right, and your formants and frequencies and acoustics. But you can just keep it simple right now and get started right now by singing away from the mouth. You've got two formats in your vowel: clarity and structure. Your structure is where the body of the sound rings, and it's where the pitch of the sound rings. So basically, if you focus more and put more intention on that at the back, right? Right, you've got more range than, you're going to have more range than you know what to do with. I have no idea what to do with all that range, right? Other than sing Soundgarden songs or Creedence, right? You have a pitching issue, so you've got to work on your cry, right? So just practice this very, very basic on an arpeggio like this. And instead of using your belly, and supporting the way you think you're supposed to support, do the opposite. Keep your belly out, belly down. It's like you've had 7 pizzas before singing. Don't do that. Keep it out and focus on that sad sound. Right? Right? Number 2, look at your vowel sounds. The more you hold on to the pronunciation, that's where you're missing high ranges. It's getting away from pronunciation, getting away from that clarity formant in the way that you think you have to use it to be clear with your words. Pitch the sound correctly, look at your acoustics, and you'll no longer have to lower the key of all the songs you're singing. Now, you've been doing this for a little while already. You've got lots of muscle memory. You've got lots of habits. You were struggling with these songs. You can't reinvent Rome in a day, right? So I suggest picking one song. Like, don't jump straight into Journey or Soundgarden. Pick a song which is inconsistent, right? You can kind of hit the notes, but it's inconsistent. And use your pitching and acoustics tips I've just given you and work towards that song being acoustic and tick that one off the list. Pick the next one in line, right? You can lower the key of the much more challenging songs for now and basically pick them off one by one, right? If you've got a show tonight, don't go out there and just do everything in E standard and expect to get different results to what you've done previously, right? You got to take this step by step and one at a time. So pick one song, pick an inconsistent song and make it consistent. Then pick a song which is slightly out of reach and make it in reach, right? This is the coolest thing that I've ever put together to help singers hit higher notes than they ever imagined possible so that they can go out there and express the true meaning of the songs that they're singing and also just sing their favorite songs in the original key, right? In the process of working with hundreds of singers all around the world for the past 15 years, but thousands if you want to count my online programs, I've been able to identify patterns in the singers that I'm working with, the issues that they're experiencing, and also the solutions that I'm giving them. It's really 12 vocal progress killers. Obviously, lowering the key of your songs is a massive vocal progress killer. You're not going to move forward if you're sticking within your lane as a singer and you're not addressing the problems that are stopping you from hitting those high notes, right? There's actually 12 of these vocal progress killers. So I've put together a short course called 12 Vocal Progress Killers. Absolutely free. You don't actually have to sign up for anything at all. It just goes out to your email. So hit this link here to join me for the free short course, 12 Vocal Progress Killers. There's 12 exclusive training videos that get sent out to your email every couple of days over the next couple of weeks. It's going to show you how to address every single one of these progress killers the same way that we're addressing the reasons why you've been lowering the key of your favorite songs. So join me for the free short course, 12 Vocal Progress Killers. I'm Kegan from Foundation Vocal Method. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well so you see more voice training content just like this. Hit the link to join me for the free course. We're going to talk soon.